Hello, everybody. I just wanted to kind of give you a brief overview of the change that's going to be happening next week with the Kronos system enabling of the single sign-on. Basically, this change is just a user experience change. There's really no alteration of the way they use Kronos other than how they log in. But with most of the single sign-ons that you're familiar with, there's going to be a small landing page, like HR connection, for example, then it's going to jump over to, or jump you straight into Kronos. Right now, a number of people will either access Kronos through a desktop icon, such as this. You may have the links that are in your own team rooms or on the Nest and so forth. All mechanisms, or basically all paths, will lead you to the same place, which is you will see the URL up here. It's always, NA Kronos with the WFC logon. That's the way it works today, and the way it's going to work in the future after single sign-on gets deployed, it's going to be the exact same way. So if I were to, I won't log in here because you've all seen that, but let's switch over to the pre-prod system, which has already got the single sign-on enabled. And again, it's just a URL. So really what they're going to see now is this single sign-on page, or I'm sorry, what we call the landing page. The landing page is divided into basically two areas. The one is on the left-hand side is the orange area that provides the users and you with three different ways of logging into Kronos. Basically, there's always been three different views of Kronos, or three different ways of using it. Call them user interfaces. The one that most everybody's familiar with is the Java version. That's where you've always gone and used in the past. The Nespresso team and a number of the scheduling teams, such as factory scheduling, are now using the Flash version, or what's known as Navigator, Kronos Navigator. And they will be using this button. The third button, which is probably not that familiar, but needs to be mentioned, is that there was always a HTML version of Kronos, which is has no Java requirements. The issue with the HTML version, it's very stripped down. If you used eTime, you're using the HTML version of ADP's copy of Kronos, so it's almost identical in the look and feel. So it's basically only for entering time cards and so forth. The managers typically would not use it because it doesn't have a number of those menu options that are available in the other views, shall we say. On the right-hand side of the screen, it's kind of divided into two areas. When there's going to be an upcoming system event, such as the Wednesday maintenance outages and so forth, a day or so, or maybe on Wednesday morning, this area would start to fill in and just kind of give the users and yourself kind of a reminder that the system's going to be down today from 4 to 6. As we get closer to that time frame, there's actually a pop-up that will appear in the middle that you just have to close that kind of says, hey, in the next 15 minutes, the system's going to go down, just try not to use it, or if you do, be very quick. And the last little piece is this kind of scrolling marquee, which is just kind of for general information. Won't go so much into that here now. But basically, most of the users are going to be clicking over here, this left one, the full version, basically, you need to communicate out to them. If you're an Nespresso, they'll be clicking on the Navigator. So if I click on full, you can see it's taking me straight into the Kronos system. I didn't have to prompt me for my username and password. It already knows who I'm at, who I am. From this point on, the system operates identical to the way it always has. There's actually no change. So they'll be taken to their default landing page. In my case, this would be the time card reconciliation screen. So like most of you, it's going to take a little while. The Java takes some time to load, especially on my system. I have a lot of the tracing trying to turn on so we can try and figure out what's going on with Java, why it causes issues for so many people. But so here we are. So the operation of the system at this point is, as I said, no change, as it always has. So the other change they'll see is when they press log off, they won't get to that log on screen anymore. They're going to see our default landing page. It's going to take them right back. In a nutshell, that's basically the only change that they're going to see. So it's really just how do they get into the Kronos. And so just a quick reminder, I will continue to have the meeting on Monday, so if you have any questions and so forth, you can bring them up at that time, kind of go through the same thing. I'll send out a PowerPoint kind of presentation. I was preparing for that. So I don't think there's really that much of a, it's not that massive of a change to get out to the user base. It may cause just I feel some small confusion, just like which button do I click. After that, it's identical. All right, thank you.